What's up, everybody? How are my alien friends? Alright, this episode I'll be talking about my fantasy basketball league that I'm in. It's starting up in 2 days, and I wanted to do a video on who I drafted, why I drafted, and just some previous years because this is our 7th year, I think. So, last year, yes, I won it. All right, it's my second time winning it. This is the Big League Fantasy Basketball World Champion Trophy. All right, I've won it 2 times. The other year that I won it, I went 19-0, went to the championship, won it. No one else has done that. No one's even had an undefeated season. There's been a couple guys that have went 15-1 or just only lost 1 game, but it's not 19-0, not like me. All right, so this is my trophy. I'm looking to win it again this year. All right, I need a back-to-back. All right, if I can go back-to-back, I'll probably go into the Basketball Fantasy Hall of Fame. And yes, we take this serious. All right, this is when friendships are no longer going on. Our friends become our enemies, and we do a lot of trash talking and critiquing on everybody's trade and ad drops and telling everybody how stupid it was and that they shouldn't have never done that. But it's just part of fantasy basketball. All right, so this is my trophy. I'm looking to go back to back, so wish me luck. All right, anyways, we've been doing it for 7 years. I think I said that already. Yeah, so we do an auction draft every the last couple years we've been doing an auction draft. When we first started, we were doing just random picks. Who got first pick, second pick, third pick. We changed it. Now we're doing auctions. We get $200 to spend. You can spend it any way you want, and the superstar players usually go for $80. I don't think a player's gone over 90 yet, but for an example, LeBron James went for $80 this year. Last year was right around the same number. So with me winning the championship last year, I got to throw the first name out there. I threw out LeBron James. I bid on him. I got him. That was my first pickup, LeBron James. My strategy is to trade him off for 3 players, 3 strong role players, and I already made the trade. I'll tell you later in the video who I got for him. But I wanted to talk about some previous years, what I did last year, what my strategy was, and it's kind of the same thing this year. So what ends up happening is all these superstar players, all the all-star players that you pick up, towards the end of the season, they end up resting for the playoffs. They'll sit back-to-backs. They'll just rest up for no reason. So they're missing games that are crucial for your fantasy league. And so last year, I decided to try to not to get any superstar players, or pick, if I did pick up an all-star player, it was on some sort of like crappy team that's fighting for a playoff spot, so I know they're going to be playing throughout the year and not rest up for the playoffs. And so last year I drafted LeBron James, and I traded him off. All right, I liked the deal at the time, but looking back on it, I did lose out on the trade. I traded my buddy LeBron James. He gave me Carmelo Anthony and Andrew Wiggins. I had high hopes for Wiggins. He was a second year. I for sure thought he was going to have a breakout year. Didn't do so well, but he did all right. And it doesn't even matter because I still won the championship. I went 8-6. I struggled at the beginning of the year, and I decided to trade off LeBron. And I got those 2 other players. And then I had some injuries happening, and I started off like 2-5 or something like that. So real bad. 2-4, and my players started getting healthy, and my players started coming around, and I ended up winning, I think, like 6 straight. And on the final day, there needed 3 things to happen. I needed to win. I needed my brother to beat the best guy in our league, which was undefeated at the time. And then I also needed another friend to lose or me outscore him for total fantasy points. So I did my part. My team won. My brother did his part and beat the number 1 guy, which I needed. And then I needed to outscore my other buddy to get that final playoff spot. And I ended up outscoring him by, I think, a total of 6 fantasy points throughout the whole year. So all the points combined throughout each week, I outscored his team by 6, which locked me in for the final playoff spot. And yeah, I was in the final playoff spot, but I by far had the hottest team. All my players were healthy. All of them were clicking. And I went through the playoffs, won the championship. I was super excited. So that gave me my second championship. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm trying to go for a back-to-back. And so this year, I kind of got in a little bit of a pickle. I do coach basketball, and I knew I was going to have 2 games on the same day as my draft, and I was praying that my games were morning games, and sure enough, they were an hour after my fantasy draft started. So what I had to do was go drive to the gym that my kids were playing at. I sat in my car, went on FaceTime, and went from there. So I knew I had to get a superstar player. I got LeBron James. I already know what my strategy was going into it, so I drafted LeBron James. And then my plan was to trade him off for 3 solid role players. All right. I'm going to be on my phone a little bit, just looking at my roster. So, because I don't have everything off the top of my head. So this is just a little thing that's going to help me, okay? So with my first pick, I got LeBron James. Then with my second pick, who I was bidding on was the guy from Milwaukee Bucks. They call him the Greek Freak. I can't say his name. I'm not even going to try to say his name because I'm not going to embarrass myself. But if you're a fantasy player, if you watch basketball or keep up basketball, you know who I'm talking about. He's 6'11", was playing like small forward, shooting guard, power forward. And this year they just traded off their point guard. And the rumor is that he's going to be a point guard / shooting guard / small forward / power forward. So he's going to play a lot of positions. He's probably going to be my best player on my team. I also picked up, my third pick was, I only had time to try to pick up one more player before I had to leave and go coach my game. So I ended up picking D'Angelo Russell for my third pick. And then after that, they did their thing. And then at the end, I just had to draft my own free agents. So I got the last pick of all the free agents. I ended up picking up Tristan Thompson, which I think will be a good pickup. I also got Kyrie Irving. I actually drafted Kyrie third, D'Angelo Russell fourth. So my apologies for messing up on that. But I think Kyrie Irving's going to be a good point guard. Hopefully he can get me around 20 fantasy points a game, which would be pretty nice. That's what I'm looking for. So I also picked up Justin Winslow. He probably won't do much. He's probably an ad drop player. We get 2 ad drops per week. If you don't know what that means, is if somebody's playing crappy on your team, you can drop him and pick somebody else up in free agency. All right. I also picked up Marcus Smart from the point guard slash shooting guard, Boston Celtics. I think he'll have a decent year, nothing special, but I think he'll do enough where I can keep him on my team. I also picked up Cody Zeller, power forward, Charlotte Bobcats. Big guy. Big guys are always nice to get because usually they're shooting high percentage, grabbing a lot of rebounds, hopefully a couple block shots. Normally they don't have a lot of turnovers because they're not dribbling the ball. So it's always a good thing to draft big guys, especially good big guys. I also picked up Aaron Gordon, free agency, power forward / small forward, Orlando Magics. I think he'll have a decent year. Hopefully he'll get me about 14, give or take a point or two fantasy points. I could live with that. Other than that, I got Amir Johnson, not gonna do nothing. Jared Solinger plays for Toronto, power forward. I think he'll do all right for me this year. He's projected for 15 fantasy points. Hopefully he can get me that. But I knew my bench was crappy. I had to make a move, and I had to make it quick. I can't wait. I had to make a move quick. I traded LeBron James. I got 3 solid role players. I felt like this year's trade was way better than last year's. So I gave away LeBron James, and I got in return, I got, I don't know how to properly say his first name, Jahlil Okafor, the center from Philadelphia. Yeah, they're stacked with centers. Hopefully they trade him or trade another center away so he can be that primary #1 center on that team, because he's going to be an animal this year. All right, center, high percentage shots, rebounds. I need something like that. I also got Klay Thompson. All right, Klay Thompson is an animal, one of the best shooters in the league, one of the best two-way players in the league. Yes, I know the Golden State is stacked with star players. All right. But the way that I thought about it was they're going to be concentrating on Steph Curry and Durant so much that I think Klay Thompson is going to be their third option. That's fine with me. All right. If they're not going to double Klay. They're going to double Steph, or they're going to double Durant. All right. Klay's going to be open in the corner, knock down threes all day. All right. So I thought that was a good pickup. Some people didn't like it. Well, oh well, it's my team. So, and then I also got, who else did I get? Oh, I got Nicholas Batum from the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah. Team's pretty trashy. He was going to be able to do whatever he wants on that team, but he's kind of been injury prone these last couple years, and I didn't want to take the risk. And so I was kind of nervous, and I traded him off to a buddy that needed a shooting guard. And so I gave him Nick Batum, and I ended up getting Greg Monroe. He's a power forward / center for the Milwaukee Bucks, which I think is going to be a really good pickup because, like I said, big men are good in our league. They shoot high percentage shots. They're grabbing rebounds. They're not really turning it over that much. They're getting a couple block shots. So I like that trade for my team. So getting that 3-for-1 for LeBron, I really like. And I was really happy with that. So I'm a lot happier with my team now than what I was when I first drafted. So yeah, that's my team. It's nothing special, but I will end up making more moves throughout the season. You just got to be a little patient now. All right, I got my team. I know what I'm looking for. Now I just got to wait for tip off. 2 more days, and I will be good. I'll give you updates, and but that's it. So wish me luck. Let's go back to back. All right. So I'll talk to you later. All right. One love.